Have you ever looked at a map of South America and thought, yeah, I pretty much get it? Giant river, big mountain range, tropical rainforests, ... Simple, right? Well, what if I told you that the map you think you know is hiding some of the most bizarre, counterintuitive, and downright weird geographical secrets on the planet? Get ready to have your mind blown because we're about to explore why South America's geography is way, way weirder than you think. Let's start with a simple question. What's the easternmost city in the Americas? If you're thinking of a place in Canada or the United States, maybe somewhere in Maine, you'd be wrong. In fact, you'd be thousands of miles off. The answer is Recife, Brazil. Go ahead, pull up a map. Go. I'll see that the eastern bulge of Brazil juts out so far into the Atlantic Ocean that it's actually closer to Africa than it is to most of North America. Standing on the shores of Recife, you're geographically east of every single city in the mainland US, Canada, and Mexico. Completely messes with our north-left mental map of the world. Speaking of things not being where you think they are, let's talk about the Andes Mountains. They're the longest continental mountain range in the world, a massive spine running down the western edge of the continent. But here's the twist. The Andes aren't just one long straight line. They twist, they turn, they split apart, and they create some truly strange landscapes. For instance, did you know there's a place in the Andes where the mountains are so wide they create a high-altitude desert plateau, the Altiplano, that's home to massive salt flats and cities that sit higher than most mountains in Europe? It's a desert in the sky, sandwiched between two colossal mountain chains. This brings us to one of the driest places on Earth, the Atacama Desert in Chile. It's so arid that, in some parts, rain has never been recorded. You might think, okay, it's next to the Pacific Ocean. Why is it so dry? It's a geographical double whammy. To the west, the cold Humboldt Current in the ocean creates a coastal inversion layer, basically a lid of cool air that prevents rain clouds from forming. To the east, the towering Andes Mountains create a rain shadow, blocking all the moisture coming from the Amazon basin. The Atacama is essentially trapped in a moisture-free cage, making it a perfect stand-in for Mars. In fact, NASA frequently tests its Mars rovers there. Now let's swing over to the other extreme. Water. Lots and lots of water. The Amazon River is, by volume, the largest river in the world. It carries more water than the next 7 largest rivers combined. It's so massive that there's no bridge that crosses it, not a single one. Think about that. A river so wide and powerful, running through such a dense and remote jungle. For its entire 4,000-mile length, humanity has just decided, nope, we're not even going to try. The sheer scale is almost impossible to comprehend. And deep within this river system, there's another secret, a flying river. The billions of trees in the Amazon release so much water vapor through transpiration that they create a massive river of moisture in the atmosphere, which then flows across the continent, bringing rain to regions thousands of miles away. The Amazon literally makes its own weather, and the weather for much of the continent. But the Amazon's weirdness doesn't stop there. Have you ever heard of the Cassiquary Canal? This isn't a man-made canal. It's a natural river that connects two of the world's major river systems, the Amazon and the Orinoco. It's a phenomenon called a bifurcation, and it's incredibly rare on this scale. Essentially, the Orinoco River splits in two, with one branch flowing north to the Caribbean as it should, and the other, the Cassiquary, turning south to join the Rio Negro, a major tributary of the Amazon. It's like a natural plumbing system that shouldn't exist, connecting to basins that should be separate. Let's head south to Patagonia, a land of glaciers, jagged peaks, and windswept plains shared by Argentina and Chile. Here, the geography gets even stranger. Southern Patagonian ice field is the world's second largest contiguous ice field outside of the polar regions. It's a remnant of the last ice age, a massive river of ice that carves its way through the mountains, creating spectacular fjords and glaciers like the famous Perito Moreno. This glacier is one of the few in the world that isn't retreating. It's in a state of equilibrium, constantly advancing and calving huge icebergs into the lake below, a thunderous display of nature's power. It's a living, breathing ice monster in a world where most glaciers are sadly shrinking. And what about the very shape of the continent itself? Notice how South America and Africa look like they could fit together like puzzle pieces. That's because they were once part of the supercontinent Gondwana. but the way they split apart created some unique features. The split wasn't clean, and it directly influenced the formation of the Andes and the Amazon basin. It created a continent that's wide in the north and tapers dramatically to a point in the south, funneling weather systems and ocean currents in unique ways. This tapering shape is why the southern tip, Cape Horn, is one of the most treacherous sea passages in the world, where the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans meet in a chaotic fury. Let's go back up north to Venezuela, to a place that inspired a Pixar movie. The Tepuy. These are not mountains. They are massive, flat-top plateaus that jut thousands of feet out of the jungle. They're often called islands in the sky, or the lost world. And for good reason. They are the remnants of an ancient sandstone plateau that has eroded away over millions of years, leaving these isolated mesas. Because they are so isolated, each tepuy has evolved its own unique ecosystem, with plants and animals found nowhere else on Earth. It's like a real-life laboratory for evolution. The world's tallest waterfall, Angel Falls, spills from the top of one of these tepuy, plunging nearly a kilometer in an unbroken drop. Let's wrap up with one last geographical mindbender. Hit the Galapagos Islands, famous for Darwin's finches. They're part of Ecuador in South America. But they sit directly on the equator, and more importantly, on the Nazca Plate, a tectonic plate that is moving east and subducting, or diving under, the South American plate. This very movement is what created the Andes. So, the Galapagos Islands are essentially a conveyor belt of volcanic islands that are slowly, inch by inch, moving towards the continent they are a part of, destined to one day be consumed by the same geological forces that built South America's mighty mountain range. From a river in the sky to mountains that create deserts. From a continent's misplaced easternmost point to islands on a collision course with their own country. South America is a land of stunning geographical contradictions. It's a place where the rules of geography seem to have been rewritten, creating landscapes that are as baffling as they are beautiful. The next time you glance at a world map, take a closer look at that triangle-shaped continent. It's holding more secrets and wonders than you could ever imagine. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the weird and wonderful geography of South America. If you enjoyed this and want to see more content that makes you rethink the world around you, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. Let me know in the comments which of these facts surprised you the most. See you in the next video.